Picture this. You're scrolling your phone and you see some guy in a rented Lamborghini telling you he turned $500 into $50,000 trading options. And you're sitting there with $25 in your pocket thinking, cool, so investing isn't for me. Here's the truth nobody's selling you because it doesn't get clicks. The boring version works better. $25 a week, invested the boring way, can turn into $120,000. No trading, no stock picking, no luck required. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about how regular people actually build wealth. If you've ever felt like investing was for people with extra cash lying around, hit subscribe, because this video is for you. Let's do the math first, because the math is the whole point. $25 a week is $100 a month. That's it. That's coffee money for some people. Invested consistently in a low-cost index fund, averaging around 7% real returns over time, $25 a week for 30 years becomes roughly $120,000. Not from one lucky pick, not from timing the market, from doing the same small thing, week after week, for 3 decades. Now here's what trips people up. When you hear $120,000, your brain assumes you need to be a genius or get lucky. You don't. You need 2 things: consistency and time. That's the entire formula. Most people have neither, not because they can't, but because nobody explained it this simply. So let's break down why this actually works. Step 1. Why $25 and not $500? Because $500 a week isn't realistic for most people, and unrealistic plans get abandoned by week 3. $25 a week is small enough that your brain doesn't fight it. It's not a sacrifice. It's barely noticeable. And a plan you'll actually stick to beats a perfect plan you'll quit in a month. Step 2. Why boring investing wins. Your brain wants excitement. Picking stocks feels thrilling. Buying one boring index fund feels like doing nothing. But research comparing actively managed funds to the overall market has shown that most professional fund managers fail to beat a simple index fund over long periods. If professionals can't reliably beat boring, you probably won't either. So the smart move isn't finding the next big stock. It's buying the entire market at once, through something like a total market or S&P 500 index fund, and leaving it alone. Step 3. The real secret, which isn't the money, it's the automation. If you rely on remembering to invest, you will forget. If you rely on motivation, some weeks you won't feel like it. So you automate $25 a week to move out of your account right after payday, before you see it, before you can spend it. This is the same principle behind separating your bills from your spending. Money you don't see, you don't miss. Let's run the actual numbers, so this isn't just a nice idea. If you invest $25 a week for 10 years at 7%, you end up with around $18,000. Keep going to 20 years, and you're at roughly $55,000. Push to 30 years, and that number becomes about $120,000. Notice something. The jump from year 20 to year 30 is way bigger than the jump from year 1 to year 10. That's compounding. Your money starts making money, and then that money starts making money too. The longer it runs, the faster it grows. Which means the single biggest variable isn't how much you invest, it's how early you start. Now, you might be thinking, Jack, what if the market crashes right when I need the money? Fair question. This is why the plan only works if the money you're investing is money you won't need for years. If a $400 surprise expense would wreck you, that's step 0, not step 3. Build a small safety buffer first. Then, let the $25 a week run on autopilot in the background. You might also be thinking, what if I could only do $10 a week instead of $25? Still do it. The exact number matters less than the habit. $10 a week for 30 years at 7% still turns into roughly $48,000. That's real money from something you'd barely notice missing. Here's what I want you to take from this. You don't need a windfall. You don't need to pick the next big stock. You don't need to understand crypto or options or anything complicated. You need one boring index fund, one automatic transfer, and enough patience to leave it alone for a long time. That's genuinely the whole strategy that turns $25 a week into six figures. So here's your move. Open a brokerage account if you don't have one. Pick one broad index fund. Set up an automatic transfer for whatever you can do. $10, $25, $50 a week, right after payday. Then do the hardest part. Nothing. Let it run. 20 years from now, you're not going to remember the coffee you didn't buy. You're going to remember that you started. If this helped you see investing differently, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos on building real wealth from wherever you're starting.